Chapter 1. The Sky Was Watching.
From the Diary of Emily Kale.
They say nothing ever happens in Greystone. A quiet town wrapped in pine forests, where the strangest thing used to be the mayor's pet goat escaping into traffic. But last Friday, everything changed. It began with the sky. I was walking home from my evening shift at the diner, my boots crunching on the gravel road, when I noticed how still the air had become.
No crickets.
No wind. Just a silence so deep it felt unnatural. I looked up, and the stars were gone.
Not hidden, gone.
Instead, a massive triangular shape blocked out the sky above me. It hovered silently, its surface like smooth obsidian, rippling slightly at the edges. There were no lights, no engines.
Just presence. My breed kaukt in my throat, and I frotze.
Then it saw me. I don't know how I knew, it didn't have eyes, but I felt a heat ripple across my skin, like I was being scanned.
My vision bluered.
The trees bent toward the craft, their tops shimmering like heat waves. And just as suddenly it disappeared.
Not flee away, vanished. I stumbled back, my head spinning.
My phone had shut off completely, even though it was fully charged moments before. And when I turned it back on hours later, my home screen photo, me and my brother hiking, had been replaced by static. Just static. When I got home, my mom was asleep.
I didst tell her.
How could I?
She wouldn't believe me.
No one would. But I know what I saw. I know what I felt.
The next morning, I found a mark behind my ear. Like a small silver dot embedded under the skin. It pulsed slightly when I touched it.
Whatever that thing was.
It left the meeting behind.
And now I can hear things I shouldn't. Voices.
In the static. In the sky. Chapter 2. The Frequency. From the Diary of Emily Kale.
For the next 3 nights, I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I heard the same sound, a faint, high-pitched whine, like a radio stuck between stations. At first, I thought it was just my imagination, the stress playing tricks on me. But when I asked my little brother if he heard anything weird, he nodded. It's like buzzing in my ears, he whispered. But only when I'm near you. That's when I knew it wasn't just in my head.
I started recording music at night.
The first 2 recordings were normal, just the rustle of sheets, the occasional creak of the house. But on the 3rd night, I heard something different. At exactly 3:13 a.m., a voice whispered through the static. Emily.
Return to the clearing.
I dropped my phone.
The clearing.
It could only mean one place, the spot deep in the woods where we used to build forts as kids. I hadn't been there in years. But the moment I heard those words, a rush of memories came flooding back. Strange dreams I used to have as a child, always ending in that same spot. That night, I waited until my mom fell asleep, grabbed a flashlight, and headed into the woods. The forest was unnaturally quiet, like the night of the sighting. The flashlight's beam flickered even though I had just replaced the batteries. As I approached the clearing, my ears started ringing, louder and louder until I thought I'd faint. And then,
the lengse.
The kind that presses down on your lungs. In the middle of the clearing, there was a circle burned into the ground. Still warm.
No flames, no smell of fire, just heat.
My heart thundered in my chest as I stepped toward it.
Tatsven I SAV symbol.
Etched into the soil, glowing faintly, was something that looked like a 3-pointed star wrapped in a spiral. I didn't recognize it, but when I looked at it, my vision blurred again, and the voice returned. You are marked. The others are coming. Chapter 3. Marked. After that night in the clearing, I stopped pretending life was normal. The symbol I saw, burned into the earth, was still there when I returned the next day. I tried taking pictures of it, but every photo came out corrupted, like the image refused to exist digitally. My phone shut off again for hours.
I didst even tell Mason, my brother.
I was too afraid of what might happen to him if he got involved. But the mark behind my ear had changed. It wasn't just a silver dot anymore. It had spread, branching out like veins just beneath the skin, pulsing faintly in the mirror. I covered it with makeup during the day, but at night, it glowed.
A soft, bluish hue.
And the voice kept coming back. Each night at 3:13 a.m. Sometimes it said my name. Other times it whispered coordinates, numbers I wrote down, though I didn't recognize the locations. And once, it said something that made my blood freeze. You are not the only one. I started researching. I dove deep into obscure forums, UFO logs, encrypted threads that looked like they hadn't been touched in years. That's when I found Project Echo, a government initiative from the 80s that allegedly tracked alien encounters involving young children in forested areas of North America. One of the listed sightings?
Greystone, 2005.
The year I turned 8. There were files, names, blurry images of symbols like the one I saw in the clearing, and one handwritten note from a retired field agent that read, "Subjects stop remembering after age 10. Symbols reactivate after puberty. All connected by frequency."
I slammed my laptop shut, heart racing.
I was part of something.
So meeting I had forgotten.
But I wasn't alone. Later that day, while sitting outside the library, a girl around my age sat next to me. She had short black hair, sharp eyes, and a calmness that felt out of place. Without introducing herself, she leaned in and whispered, "They marked you too, didn't they?"